You deal with the drunks and
Right.
the regular drunks, the ones that go out every weekend and they drink and they do their thing and you know get crazy. On New Year's Eve, you deal with all the amateur drunks too,
Right.
and I just get so impatient with them.
And it's scary to drive.
It is
It
scary
really
to drive.
is.
It's scary because it's surprising how many people still drive drunk on New Year's Eve. It's just surprising.
It's
So,
insane.
yeah.
Steve's actually performing. He's performing in the area. The last 2 years he hasn't. So I'm like, yay!
I did see that.
Yeah, he'll be in Colorado Springs at Looney's, and yeah, so that's our big plans. But I still need to find a dress. He's like, it's just a comedy club. I'm like, I need you to see me at my best for the first day of 2015.
He still does not get women.
He really does.
I know. I know. You
would think the variety and the numbers that he's gone through, like he would get it by now.
you
No.
dress up. That's what we
Yeah.
do.
But so if anyone has any like tips for finding some cute, I've looked. I'm being very picky. I think it's body image issues this year. So,
Really?
Yeah. I quit smoking a year ago tomorrow, and haven't looked back. But I have put on a little stop smoking weight.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I did that, and the doctor just kind of looks at me like, well. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I've stressed about it. My
I
doctor,
did what you wanted me to do. I quit smoking.
and my doctor, I stress about the weight gain, especially given my history. So I
Right.
stress about it. My doctor said you'd have to gain 300 pounds to do the damage that smoking does to your body.
Well, that's a good fact that my doctor doesn't share with me.
My doctor is pretty awesome. He's not one of those that
Sugarcoat it.
my doctor is moderation, everything moderation. You're still healthy, don't stress about this stuff. So he's probably a perfect doctor for me, having my history, with
Right.
the eating disorder. He's a very good doctor for me because he doesn't stress about that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so I tried on a dress last weekend and it was like, no way. Got a little flab where it shouldn't be flab, so.
and
gotta
you're
work on
probably the
that.
only one who notices.
But that's how we are. Mm-hmm. That's how we are.
Yeah, and how you feel,
Right.
how you feel when you go out is definite.
Will affect you and your significant other. So,
Right. And
They
so
need to
I
understand that.
try to pull that in, dress in where I'm comfortable. Sunday night when we went out, I had
You
some
looked
other
adorable.
well, I had some other plans on what I wanted to wear, but none of them made me feel good. And I thought, you know what, this is perfect. This is what I wore. This is perfect. I feel good in it, So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
do you have a New Year's resolution?
I haven't made resolutions in a while, but I think I'm going to make a few this year. I think so. One is that I've been working out pretty consistently for about, I'd say about 5 months now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been back to running, but I'm still eating like
Right.
crazy. So I'm not feeling a whole lot of change
Mm-hmm.
in my feet maybe.
It is all about the diet.
Yeah. So I'm going to clean up the eating, and that's kind of the way I've always done things. Everything's kind of in a stage, So I got the working out done. Now I'm going to clean up the eating. So that's peace. I'm probably going to continue working on cleaning up my my money stuff.
That's hard. Yeah.
It is, and it's time. I'm 47 years old. It's time I start acting like an adult with finances.
There we go.
So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to go out more.
Everyone, stop and take note.
Yeah, I
We
think.
got to keep her accountable on this resolution.
Yeah, I think I need to go out more, but not just, I don't want to just go to the bar. So maybe I need
Right.
to find.
There's so much more to do.
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge art district
Mm-hmm.
in Denver. Amazing plays and stuff.
Right. And so I think I need to either convince some of my friends to do some of these things.
Right.
And my friends get frustrated because every weekend they'll ask me, do you want to go see this band? Do you want to go out? Do you want to go to this bar? No, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Why don't we do some of the things I want to do? Let's do happy hour. Let's go to art galleries. Let's go for a hike. Let's do other
Right.
other
so
things.
you're not out until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly, because I don't do well with that. I don't. I'm a morning person, so once in a while, that's just fine. But I do need to go out more. And my status last night was, and I'm not looking for a boyfriend by
Right.
any means, but it's getting to this place where people are, you're never going to meet anybody. So I had this status yesterday that my dream man is probably currently dressed in sweats, binge watching Netflix, eating a bowl of cereal for dinner. And we'll get along splendidly and have happily ever after if we can figure out how to meet.
Right.
Because we're both at home.
Too bad there's not like a Netflix
I know.
dating site.
I know. Have you seen that meme where it's?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
Yeah, Carrie McCloud. She has also binge watched Fringe. She's been watching Fringe for the last 12 hours too. Just like you.
Right.
So.
What color are your sweats?
Exactly.
Please compliment each other.
Exactly. No, I'm just kind of getting into a rut. So I do need to start going out more and I rebelled against going out because I am uncomfortable. I am a homebody,
I'm the same way.
Yeah, so I am comfortable being at home, but at the same time, I need to have somewhat of a social life. So I need to go out and do things, and maybe I just need to go out and do things alone and meet people at the things that I like to do.
That's kind of what I had to do when my ex and I broke up. I didn't have a lot of me friends, so I just kind of went where I felt comfortable,
right?
Which was the Grizzly Rose. I worked there part-time, and so I'd go out there and, build some friendships off of that and ended up running into Steve, and ta-da!
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that I'm looking for anybody. It's just that I do need to be a little more social. Might make my writing world a little more interesting, too.
How is the blog doing?
Well, my links, I think I told you this, my links are broken. And I just haven't had the time. I have a link to your
blog on our
and it will
website,
take you to
twogirlsandabottlewine.com.
Yeah, and it will take you to the most current. There's a few people who, for some reason, they can get to everything.
Okay.
Like they can look in the menu and they can get to everything. Not everybody can. So I have these broken links, and I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. I don't know if it's with the theme that I'm using for WordPress, or if anybody's listening and can help me with this, that would be fantastic.
Right.
WordPress is not that intuitive. And so I just need to figure out what's going on. It might be with the mobile plugin that I'm using. I don't know. But so I have quite a few things written. It's just I haven't wanted to post anything while I'm trying to figure this out. And I've been so busy with work, and then I got sick. And, I just haven't had the time to deal with it. And that's something I intend on doing during this vacation, is figuring out what's going on with my blog. And then, of course, I write other things too. So,
right.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Great.
Where do you post those?
I don't.
You don't go to Erotica or anything?
No, I mean, I have a few different sites where sometimes I'll write for some money, like they pay you, so
Very
much,
cool.
so many pennies per word. So I do a few of those. And I write a lot of fiction. I write every day. It's something I have to do.
That's awesome.
I have to write.
It's your outlet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which might explain why you don't like to get out much, because you spend
Right.
a lot of time writing.
Right. Well, and I spend so much time at work, and then I have so much time to write, and but some of it is just being in a rut.
Right.
And there's probably, like you brought up, there's probably, body image issues, because I have gained weight since I quit smoking, and so I just need to get out.
Gotcha.
That's the whole thing.
So that's what we're going to try and help you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have kids, so this next topic I brought up just because I like the way you think on most things. So I figured I would love to hear your opinion when it comes to this. So recently, Jennifer Aniston came out and said that a lot of people have given her flack for not having kids. Many women without kids share the awareness and the constant judgment. Like, I have friends that are like, so when are you going to have kids? I'm like, well, if you notice my relationship, it's not really a relationship that has any room for children. There's already children in the picture. So, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
I like my me time.
Right.
A lot of it.
Right.
And so Jennifer Aniston, in an interview for January's Allure magazine, she addressed the issue head on. She said, I don't like the pressure that people put on me, on women, that you failed yourself as a female because you haven't procreated. I don't think it's fair, she said. You may not have a child come out of your vagina, but that doesn't mean you aren't mothering, such as dogs, friends' children, nephews, nieces. So there are plenty of reasons why women might not have children. It could be they've made the choice not to have children. They're waiting for the right partner, or they might want to be mothers but not have, but have difficulties starting a family. So there's many reasons. So stop your judgments. Now, what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are this is just another way that women judge each other.
And
And it doesn't stop
so
with
true.
the children, but they do. Women do judge each other. Women judge other mothers will judge other women for making a conscious choice to not have children.
Right.
Or questioning, when are you going to have kids? I have several friends who don't want to have kids, and I don't have the good kind of kids, and I get it. I do. If if I had the choice to do over, no, I'm kidding. I do love my children, but it doesn't stop with that. Once you have kids, if you do decide to have children, which is a choice, if you do decide to have children, then if you're a working mother, then stay-at-home mothers judge you. And when you're a working
Right.
mother, you judge the mothers who stay at home and think that, they just live through their kids. And, there's all this judgment going on. And men don't face that.
Not at
They
all.
don't. Men can absolutely decide, I don't want to have kids. They can decide that. And it's not a big deal. And the thing is why don't women get that same courtesy to make that choice
Right.
without the judgment? Because really, women do a lot more of the work in it. They're the ones
lot.
that cook the baby,
Right.
and they birth the baby. And they're, if they're nursing mothers, they're attached to the baby for, 6 months, a year. Some are crazy and
5
nurse their
years.
babies for 5 years, which is insane. But, it's just another way to judge. And I work with a woman who she married a little bit later, still young enough where she could have had kids, but she chose not to have kids. She's still, she works for children. She's still doing plenty for children. Look
yes.
at Oprah.
Right.
Oprah's like adopted Africa.
Right.
She's still, she made the conscious choice to not have kids. And I think that women should be accepted to, it's okay for them to not have children.
Stop judging each other. We
But
need
they
to
do.
embrace each other.
They do. And then even, and women are constantly sizing each other up. And, so parents, mothers are judging other mothers. My kids are better than yours. And,
Right.
my kids are better sports, or my kids are more, it's just stop.
Stop.
Just
Yes.
stop. Everybody has a different life path that they want to live. And if they don't want to have children, I personally think it's a good choice, and I do feel for the people that do want to have children and they can't, and
Oh, yes.
they could have mine. I'm so kidding.
It's the Carrie McCloud Adoption Agency.
I know, I do actually.
Just 2 children.
I do actually love my children. So it's interesting to. I'm glad she came. I'm glad Jennifer Aniston came out and said
'Cause
that.
I know for
Oprah
many
did that a
years-
long time ago too. She came out and
Yeah.
said, "I made a conscious choice. My career is my baby."
My baby, yeah. And for many years, I've heard many people, is Jennifer Aniston pregnant? Is she going to get pregnant? Like, from the Brad Pitt days all the way to her current fiance. So, yeah, poor girl. She's beautiful. She's talented. But she doesn't want kids in the mix. And she may down the road, but
But
may
she's
not.
close to my age, isn't
Is
she?
I don't know. She's one of those people that she does enough Botox that you can't tell if she's out of
And
her
plus,
20s.
I think she's just naturally stunning. She is absolutely beautiful.
She is.
And I think that's a fine choice. I always wondered too if she ended up in the because now Brad Pitt, of course, is
Has, like,
a gazillion
Yeah.
kids. They've adopted the children that Oprah didn't, and so I always wondered if that was kind of an end of his marriage with Jennifer Aniston.
Right.
Is she didn't want to have kids,
wasn't ready.
and he did, and I can totally relate to that because that's a big part of my my breakup is the man who wants kids, and I don't want any more kids.
right.
So it does becomes an issue in relationships. And what's interesting is when I was going through that, women judge that too.
They do.
Why, if you love him, why don't you want to have any more kids? Because I'm 47 years old.
Right.
My oldest child is 25. My youngest is 10. I'm hoping to get them all moved out, and then I'm going to move.
Right.
And not tell them where I live. So it's interesting. And then, it's also interesting, too, as you see some of those opinions of women. Some of my own friends said, well, you should just tell him that you're willing to have kids, and then just not have any.